Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected a U.S.-backed Gaza peace plan, and that plan calls for the Israeli military to gradually withdraw from parts of Gaza as Hamas disarms. But Netanyahu vowed that Israel would not withdraw its military from Gaza until Hamas is truly disarmed. Hamas, however, says it remains committed to this plan. So this was supposed to be phase 2 of President Trump's peace plan in Gaza. Let's go live now to CBS News Middle East contributor Courtney Kealy. Hey, Courtney, so how does this complicate the White House ability to negotiate in this region?
Well, it looks like a standoff. Hamas says they want Israel to withdraw, and Israel says they want Hamas to disarm. So what I've heard this morning actually is the high representative of the Gaza Board of Peace said that they might go sector by sector. So if they could kind of divide parts of Gaza, go in, that would be the Israeli Defense Forces, disarm Hamas, and then move on to the next sector, they could withdraw from there. So that's probably the only way through it. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, he was speaking Hebrew yesterday when he said this. It was his weekly Prime Minister's office when he does speak, and it wasn't a national address. So it looks like he's really speaking to some of his far-right ministers, some of the hardliners, and some of his electoral base. But it just shows how hard it is for either side to come to any sort of agreement in the middle. There's deep, deep distrust. And then we really don't know what's happening inside Gaza. We can't get in there as independent journalists. And I'm just hearing from UN sources and that there's triple the rate of miscarriages among women. 90% of people, their homes have been decimated. Yeah. So people are just living in squalor, abject conditions. And while this peace plan, we were supposed to hear more, and it's starting immediately after October 2025, and here we are in August, nearly a year later.
Some difficult information to hear there, Courtney. So with Israel and Hamas still at odds over who moves first, what would it take to ultimately break this deadlock?
Well, it really takes a whole lot of mediation, and it really would be so. It's not even like who goes first. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, we want heavy weapons, light heavy weapons, all weapons to be disarmed from Hamas. Have they gotten all the tunnels out? Have they gotten all the depots out? Have they gotten most of the top Hamas leaders out? Khalil al-Hayya was just named as the top leader. He's outside of Gaza. What does that mean for the Israeli Defense Forces, who are in 2/3 of Gaza right now? They don't want to be staying inside Gaza either. That just fatigue and morale issues for the Israeli Defense Forces. And I said the conditions for Gazans, and we don't even know really. It's very hard to speak to Palestinians inside Gaza that can speak freely about Hamas without fear of reprisal. So you're going to have the ideology going strong. It's unclear whether all of this destruction and these casualties have led to a further entrenchment of the ideology or lessened it. But incrementally, the key is that it starts. And like I said, we're nearly a year into what was supposed to start in 2025 before Christmas. We also are hearing that President Trump doesn't seem to be that upset by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's talks, his speech or comments yesterday. Really, they fight. As Bibi said, they fight like family, and then they make up like family. So I don't see this as a big deal breaker between the two of them, and they also have to speak on the same page, or at least in some kind of alliance, on Iran.
Okay. Courtney Kealy, thank you so much for your time today.